you asked me about two themes. First, about leadership. How to remain a leader. Well, that's fine, how to remain a leader, but I think you're actually interested how to become a leader and remain a leader. Because, well, remaining a leader is much easier than becoming a leader. Okay? And second, what are the benefits of strong brands? Why strong brands win over competition? Okay, these are two questions. Why McDonald's? McDonald's usually comes in top 10 world leading brands in terms of the brand value, whether it's brand Z scoring or interbrand ranking. And there are no many international brand rankings. And in each of those, McDonald's would usually be in top 10. An explanation why. Part of the explanation is the efforts McDonald's has done over some years. I would say it's a half of success story. The second half of the success story of McDonald's, the industry itself, restaurants, and especially affordable restaurants, not expensive restaurants, is very popular with general audience. Therefore, it's much easier for McDonald's to become a leading brand than for Louis Vuitton. Just because if I walk out of the street and ask someone, can you tell me a bit about McDonald's? It looks like everyone has opinion about McDonald's. You don't have to be an expert. You could spend 20 minutes telling me what McDonald's is. Everyone is expert at McDonald's. When I come out in the street and ask them, what do you think about the Jaguar car? 80% of respondents would say, everybody. Okay, it's good. It's a good car. Okay. Anything else? It's expensive. Okay. Anything else? I don't have it. I've never even tried it. I've never even driven in it. I don't even have friends who have driven the car. So what's your thoughts? So that's the difference in why McDonald's. Success of the company itself, and second, industry. I should agree that we're lucky to be McDonald's because we touch so many souls and people every day. We serve 90 million customers every year. So what is leadership? Because you asked about leadership, but the question, who is the leader? I think the key questions here, or the key points, one is consistency, what I think you mentioned, over the time. Because you can be a leader today. For example, you could be fast, you could be strong today. But it's hard for you to do it every year. That's why consistency is important for leaders. Leader cannot be just for one day. You cannot be a hero and save the planet today and burn it to death tomorrow. Okay? So consistency. And consistent high results. Whether it's successful, profitable, that's a quantitative measure. How much, roughly? How fast, how strong, how much? Over the time, consistent. But that's not enough. Quality should be in place. Because, well, I can produce lots of $1 million, but once again, if planet is a hostage and people don't have where to run, and they just pay you, and you have sales, it's for a long time because they don't have anywhere to run. This leadership is not fueled by quality or by morals, moral values. So quality is very important. So these are 3 points perhaps. High results over a longer period of time with a good set of values where you can say, well, I improve life or I make it a bit better for the customers I serve. So these are qualities. How to measure leadership. Profit is not the objective of leadership. Leaders don't need profit. Leaders need to be ahead of something. If you ask leaders, whether it was Steve Jobs or Warren Buffett, actually someone asked the question to Warren Buffett, what is your purpose? Why do you want to make more money? is that the purpose of your leadership? He said, no. I have enough money. I cannot spend. My family cannot spend all my money. The friends of my family cannot spend all the money I have. But I have a lot of friends, and they say they have good ideas. And I say, no, I have better ideas. And we always argue, who has a better idea? And we couldn't find any other common value, how to measure our ideas and success beyond money. So money is just a measure of our ideas. If my ideas are better, then over longer time I'll make more money. That's why my idea is better. No, my idea is better. Okay, prove me. Can you make good performance over 10 years? So it is just a game for leaders. Money is the game to prove that ideas are good. So you cannot be a strong leader because other competitors are very strong. Why don't I look at the category stain removers, which is 20 times smaller than detergents, but I'll take 70% of that niche market. So there are niche players and specialists. There are also differentiators in terms of their advertisement and marketing efforts. Many food companies may benefit in the future because we have fallen crop, we have higher prices for food products, better profitability for those companies who are in the business already. Therefore, Nestle may be a good company for you to invest on top of McDonald's in the next 20, 50 years. Big company is not a guarantee to succeed in the future. Because sometimes you are so big that you don't change anything and you don't even notice. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. We cannot catch up with technology. We don't know what will happen with technology tomorrow, with our competitors. I don't have a crystal ball in my hand at all. What is the secret of McDonald's? It is development of those people who, at their time, will tell us what we need to change. It is micromanagement. If you ask me, well, do you have a 10-year plan? Well, we have a 10-year plan. It's somewhere over there. But we know it will change. It doesn't make sense to make 10-year plans from now on. We have a 3-year plan, which is not that low, but which is here, because even 3 years from now, we don't know what will happen. The most reliable plan is 1-year plan, what we need to do this year. And we need people like you, good professionals, who know if I ask, so could you look around and see what's going on today? What we should do perhaps tomorrow, not in a 3-year time, but tomorrow, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, half year from now. And we need to have those people. And those people should be in our company. It is not always the case. Because many companies, especially those with zero return, rely on external experts. You don't have those people in your company. You call consultant agency, you call some business schools, external people, and you ask them to evaluate your business, to give you SWOT analysis, and draw a strategic plan. And those people, if I give you McDonald's case today, and I ask you, could you give me a strategy in 2-week time? I was like, oh, no. I don't know, well, I know your brand, but I don't know what your problems, I don't know your finance. It will take me a week at least to go through your finance and understand your company. The chance that you will make a mistake as an external consultant is very high, especially for McDonald's, where all piece of marketing, price, product, people, promotion, planet, all within the domain of the company. We don't outsource anything to other companies. Therefore, we need to invest into those people. Which companies are the leaders? And there are 5 criteria. First, There is a formal leadership process in the company. What I mean formal leadership process in the company? Well, I may tell you with a 90% probability who will be next marketing director in McDonald's. Because I know and I developed that person. Volodya also knows who will be the next marketing director. Not him yet. And here Volodya is leaving the room, yes? Protest. Not him, but he knows the person. And we've been investing in that person for a while. So there is a formal process. If you ask me, are leaders born or made? It's a both. It's a both. You need a smart person. You cannot just teach a person process. Good leader always listens and personally develops people. I have also a different example from my previous companies. Perhaps I had more meetings with my vice president of McDonald's last month than I had meetings with the general manager of Nestle over 3 years. And I had only 2 meetings with the head of Microsoft in Russia. So just a level of engagement of leaders. Leaders spend a lot of time on people, listening to them, understanding them. So it's not a waste of time. A good example of a leading company is big percentage of your current directors. And we have 8 directors on the management board at McDonald's. We have 8 directors. I'm one of those 8 directors. We have senior operations director. We have marketing director on the board. We have human resource director, public relations, development director, and financial and purchasing, supply chain director. Out of those people, how many were hired from external companies and how many were promoted from internal candidates? Perhaps development director is external, HR director is external. That's it. Well, I'm internal because while I joined McDonald's in 2008, I worked for McDonald's from 1997 up until 2001. So I actually rejoined McDonald's after 7 years out of the company. Good company, leading company, is not the company which always changes personnel through hiring external candidates. And if you go to some companies, if you go, I believe, to Microsoft, 40% of current leaders, top managers, are from other companies. And you say, well, that's good, it's a new blood. It's new blood to a certain extent. So perhaps a good ratio should be no more than 30% of your top management should be external, 70% should be better developed from internal resources, because it's a proof that you can develop people. Otherwise, you just buy people. Good also KPI of a leading company is when people are hunting for you. How many companies bought McDonald's specialists? Well, I would say on the crew level, on the restaurant management level, I told you we had 7,000 employees, McDonald's employees. And most of our competitors, and you see some competitors entering the market of Ukraine, all their employees, or many of their employees, most of their employees, are former McDonald's employees. Many recruiters and headhunters are calling me. Many recruiters, I hope, calling Volodya. They say, well, Volodya, would you join our company at a 30% higher salary? They are calling him, they're calling me. Is that a bad sign? Well, that's a bad sign because, well, your people may leave. No, it's a good sign. Because your people are good enough, so recruiters call. If I find out that no one called, no recruiters, no headhunters, called my reports over the last half a year, I need to fire that person. So Volodya knows that it is better that someone is calling him than not calling him. So he should not be proud coming to me and say, you know, Sergey, I didn't receive any calls from headhunters and I want to work for McDonald's for the next 15 years. Shut up. No one called him in the last half a year. I definitely need to fire him. If your company is successful, then you should tease your people, should call your people. And my task is to keep these people. And the last one, definitely KPI, is steady, profitable, ethical business in the 10-year perspective. Then you say it's a company leader. And you may ask, okay, good, okay, but then who are the leaders? The Chief Executive Survey of this January 2013 identified top leading companies or top 20 companies worldwide best for leaders, best for leadership, best to develop leadership. Principles are easy. I present them to you, and there are some competitors perhaps standing over there. I don't know. They say, well, we've come actually to hear the true story of leadership. It's not a surprise for our competitors that we have these principles. These principles are hard to replicate. It is about consistency. Everyone knows strategies. You can go to any company website and you will see strategies. Our strategies and our priorities for this year. Ideally, you could copy strategies, priorities, and launch your business. Chances are, 90%, you will fail. Because behind strategies, behind priorities, there is a process. How to do this? What should be first? What should be second? How much investments? Where to get those money? And it looks like execution is the key, not the strategy. So there is new paradigm. It is not 80% strategy and 20% execution. Sometimes it's vice versa. Strategy is just 20%. 80% is execution. Every stupid person could come up with a strategy, but only a few could deliver that strategy. And this is where McDonald's is. McDonald's is not an innovator if you, in a common sense of this word. Even Apple is not an innovator. Apple didn't create an MP3 player. You know that. Apple didn't create the player itself. It was Sony with a Walkman who created the first player. And then there was Zune in Microsoft. Almost the same time iPod was created. But somehow iPod is the best-selling MP3 player. Why? Is it because innovation? It's innovation execution. They just took an idea and made it much better. And they've also made it on a larger scale. McDonald's did not create fast food. The first quick service company on the planet was the company called White Castle back in 1940. They created quick service restaurant concept. What McDonald's did, we just took it. We took some other best practices from the markets. We visited a lot of places and we took best from each of them. And then what we did, we multiplied it in millions. So it is combination, picking up good idea and scaling it across the globe. Only a few companies can do this. Same happened, I believe, with Apple. They just made a good innovation much better to execution. We want to be open with the society and with our employees. It is about communication with my boss, with customers. We usually try to be first with changes and innovations to scale them across the planet. It is not that we always create innovations. Sometimes we create innovations, sometimes we take them from the market. And there is one small restaurant somewhere in Chernihiv who had this wonderful idea, and I was there last week, I looked at this and oh, sure. We will see this idea in 75 McDonald's restaurants in Ukraine next year, perhaps. Why? Because idea is good, and we have finances, and we have 75 restaurants, and 19 million customers who are visiting. And that good idea will be replicated in McDonald's. If it's patented, we'll pay that restaurant, and they may become rich. Leaders listen more than they speak. It is just a good example of Japanese companies. If you're in the meeting, if you're invited for an interview to some Japanese company or Korean company, and you have 3 people in front of you, and one is asking you questions, and the one on the right is silent, and he is just listening and looking at his watch. Who is the leader in the room?
The one who looks.
The one who is silent. He's the leader. The one who speaks a lot. Perhaps is the manager. We try to impact society. It is not just the money. It is how we impact society. This is also our leadership. We're obsessed with the trash on the streets. We have our own trash patrols. You still have a lot of McDonald's packaging in the streets because people throw McDonald's packaging, cups, fries packaging, etc., etc. We have dedicated people who go around our restaurants, some 5-10 minutes, I believe, from our restaurants, and we collect trash. Even though it was not our responsibility, it's customers who threw that trash out, but we need to clean the environment. It is close to our restaurants because this is where we live. It is important to McDonald's worldwide because versus McDonald's in Ukraine, which is 100% corporate. All 75 restaurants in Ukraine are corporate restaurants. These are not franchisees. These are not private owners who are running McDonald's restaurants in Ukraine. This is corporation. Well, 80% of McDonald's restaurants worldwide are actually not in the hands of the company. They are in the hands of local business people. They are millionaires. They usually run 5 to 10 restaurants their own. They make $10 to $20 million a year. They are rich, but they are committed to our business. And it's important for them, even more important for them, to clean environment around them because they are from those neighborhoods. Neighbors will just kill them if they don't clean the streets. So that's your approach. And the last one, but not the least one, still, deliver on the results. You could be nice. Well, that's fine. But deliver on results. Still, sales, profit is a measure. It is not a purpose, once again. Sales, profit cannot be a purpose of business. Because you'll be obsessed with the money if you run your business. Business should be around something. It adds fun to my life. I have more friends. I won competition with Warren Buffett because my idea was stronger. And how can I prove it? I have better sales and better profitability. So it's just a count of your success.